Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. I'm Ada and I'm a Nigerian sewing blogger. I do videos on sewing tutorials, sewing tips, sewing tricks and fashion business tips. That's a lot, right? That's to tell you that a lot of things go down here in this channel. So today's tutorial is on how to sew a jumpsuit, and a lot of people have been requesting, like people are literally on my neck like this, and that jumpsuit tutorial, and I have decided to do it for you guys today. So if you want to find out the easiest way, the fastest way and the simplest way to make a jumpsuit, you guys know I'm about the easy life, so just keep watching. Before we go into tutorial, do your hand like this if you're not subscribed. Look at this side or this side, wherever the subscribe button is. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that whenever I post a video, you will get notified. Amen. Oh yeah, let's go.
Here's the front part, and I'm starting on a fold of 2. So from the center I mark 3 inches for the overlap. This is more like a double-breasted blouse, so I mark 3 inches across the entire length of the fabric. Then I connected my markings together with a straight line across the entire length of the working piece. I forgot to mention the length of this blouse is 17 inches. So from the center of my fabric, from that 3-inch point, I mark 3 inches again for my neckline, that's my neck width, and from the center I marked 7 inches for my neck depth. I connected it like so, more like a slanted line from that point to this point. Then from the hem I'm going to connect it to that point. So I used my ruler and I drew a slanted line. So this is how to create the overlap, the double breast. If you've been on this channel lately, you know that I have done a lot of this. So from the center of the fabric, from that 3-inch point, I marked my shoulder point at 8.5 inches. Then I drew my shoulder slant. From that shoulder point I marked 8 inches downwards for my armhole. Guys, like I used biro but I had to change. This is a polyester fabric, and you know with chalk it takes a whole lot of work to draw through, to do your markings, but it was staining the fabric, so I changed to pencil, and pencil worked well for me. So just have that at the back of your mind if you're wondering why I was changing in between biro, pencil and chalk. So after I drew my armhole curve, I went ahead to mark my bust, my under bust measurement and my waist. So whatever I'm marking now, my sewing allowance and my dart allowance is included. Okay, so when I was done marking out my measurements, I used my ruler and I connected my markings together. And when I was done marking, this is what we have here. This is just like the framework. So I want the shoulder to act like a little sleeve, so I'm going to extend my shoulder point by 2 inches, not 3 inches, by 2 inches, and I'm going to go a little downwards by 4.5 inches. Now this 4.5 inches is sort of a guide to know where the slant is going to push through. Yeah, so you can see I went a little away from the slant, but it was more like a frame to know that okay, this is where I'm putting my slant. So this is what we have here. This is what the markings in the front part looks like. I'm going to go ahead to cut it now. So this is just what we have. It's so simple and easy to cut, as you can see. So I cut the front part, starting with the double breast. Then I cut the sides. So this is what we have here. You want to make sure you notch that double breast, that overlap, because that's what you use to know the center of the fabric when you want to sew the blouse. So this is the back part. I've already folded my zip allowance and pinned it together and pinned it in place. Then from the center of my fabric I marked 3 inches. Then I marked 1 inch for the neck depth. Then I drew it like so Don't mind how short the pencil is. Then from the center as well, I extended my tape and marked 8.5 inches for my shoulder point. Then I marked half an inch to form my shoulder slant. Then I used my ruler and I drew my shoulder slant. You guys will notice that I was always like going back and forth when I was marking this fabric. This is a lycra fabric. I don't know why I've been calling it polyester. This is a lycra fabric, and you know, with pencils, with chalk, like the thing just revolts against every marking tool. So from that point, I marked 8 inches for my armhole. And I drew my armhole. First of all, I drew the armhole square. Then I went ahead to insert the armhole curve. So this is what we have here. So from there, I went ahead to mark my bust. I marked my under bust, and I marked my waistline like I did in the front part. This is already, the markings I'm doing here already has like my seam allowance and my dart allowance included. So you want to have that at the back of your mind when you are marking yours. Okay, so when I was done marking, I used my ruler and I connected my markings together. And just like we did for the front, we want to have like that sleeve extension. So I marked 2 inches. Then I went downwards by 4.5, just like we did for the front. I extended the shoulder slant, very important, and I drew the sleeve slant like so. I didn't show this for the front part. After drawing the sleeve slant, you want to go back into your armhole and adjust the armhole curve, because you've increased your measurement, and of course the armhole will be affected when you're done marking. So you want to go back in and adjust the armhole curve. So you should do this for both the front and the back part. So this is what we have here. This is what it looks like. It's just a very simple blouse that we are cutting here. Very simple, very easy to cut, to mark, and of course to sew. So I went ahead to cut the back part, starting with the neckline, then the shoulder slant, then the armhole, then the sides. Okay, so this is what we have here. This is how the back looks like. Guys, this is so simple and easy to cut. So to start sewing this jumpsuit, ladies and gentlemen, you need to cut the trouser, and I have a detailed tutorial on how to cut and sew a trouser. I'm going to leave the link to those tutorial in the description box. Check it out. Okay, detailed tutorial, very very detailed on how to cut and sew a trouser. Link in the description box. Check it out. Now to sew the trouser. For this trouser, let me just put it in here. The width for the crouch line is 3 inches, while the length is 9 inches, which is what I was trying to explain to you in that clip. So to sew it, I'm just going to join the crouch like so for both the front and the back parts. And I took it over to my sewing machine and I sewed it. I joined it rather. So for the back part, you want to make around the waistline a little slanted, so that it won't puff, number one, and so that you have enough allowance to attach the zip. So it's something like this you are going to mark. You're going to do like 3/4 of an inch above. Then as you begin to extend downwards, the crouch is going to be like on a 1/2 inch seam allowance when you're sewing. Okay, so I joined the crouch for the back part as well. Then I went over to mark the dart for both the front part and the back part. You guys have seen me mark that over and over again on this channel. So after marking the dart, I also went back to my sewing machine and picked the dart for both the front part and the back part of the trouser. So this is what we have here: the front part, the back part, well picked, well aligned. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is I am going to join the center part of the trouser together. To do that, I'm going to align the front and the back crouch point. I'm going to align them together, secure it with a pin, make sure the sides are well aligned. You guys see how I'm taking this thing step by step for you people, because I want you to sew your own jumpsuit and send me a picture on Instagram or on Facebook. If you've watched up to this point and you're enjoying this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Okay, so I'm aligning the trouser together. Make sure you subscribe. Okay, hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying this video. I'm aligning the trouser together and securing with pins. So to sew, I'm just going to sew from the center. I'm going to sew from the center downwards, from the center downwards. You guys know for trousers I don't sew end to end. I sew from the center downwards, from the center downwards, and I did this for both sides of the trouser. So when I was done sewing, this is what we have here. I always do a zigzag stitch to lock my ends because I don't have a weaving machine. So I've joined the center. I'm going to go ahead to join the sides. I've already marked out my hips, my thigh, my ankle, my knee, all my measurements. I'm just going to go ahead to join the sides, and I'm going to take it slow and steady, because that is what wins the race. When you want to sew a jumpsuit, let me just put it out there, just be patient. Patience is all you need to nail your jumpsuit. Okay, so I joined the sides. I did this for both sides, the left side and the right side, for both legs, however you refer to it as. So after joining it, here's what we have, ladies and gentlemen. The trouser piece is ready. It's just simple to sew. This trouser piece is ready. If you are confused, check the link in the description box for a tutorial on how to sew a trouser. This is what we have here. I'm going to go ahead to sew the top. So I've cut the lining. I'm just going to use the lining to turn over the center piece of the front part. That's like the double breast, which is like the overlap. So I'm just going to take it back to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew it together. Then I'm going to turn it over and top stitch it. Now one of the reasons why you top stitch is so that you won't have like the facing puffing out or flying out of the dress. So I top stitched, gave it a good press, and this is what we have here. Can see how simple and neat it is. You want to make sure your stitches are neat. So this is the front part. So I went ahead to sew the dart for the front part of the body of the blouse, and this is what we have here. Both sides, you can see how neatly picked the dart is, smooth and crisp. You want to give it a good press. You know, you iron as you go. So I'm going to align my overlap like so, and I'm going to sew along that line. So I took it back to my sewing machine and I just sewed across along that line to secure the both of them together, because you guys know this is more like a double breast. So for the back, these are the facing. I've already cut it. I'm going to align it on the blouse like so for both sides, and I'm going to sew it. I'm going to align the second one like so. I'm going to sew it as well. Take it over to my sewing machine. I joined it and I also top stitched it. So after joining it, I went ahead to top stitch it so that it's well relaxed, it's smooth and flat, and it's not puffing out here and there. And I also went ahead to do the same thing for the other side of the back part. You know, the back part is into two parts. So after sewing, I top stitched as well, and I gave it a good press. Okay, so after giving it a good press, I went ahead to pick the dart for the back part of the dress. I know some of you will be like, oh Ada, you did not show how it was picked. This is because I've done it over and over again. You didn't show how it was marked. This is because I've done it over and over again on this channel. So this is what it looks like. So this is the back part and this is the front part. I'm going to align them on each other like so. I'm going to align the shoulder points, the shoulder slant, the shoulder line. I'm going to align them as well, and I'm just going to go ahead to, you want to make sure the double breast is well aligned. I'm going to go ahead to join the shoulder lines like so. So I took that to my sewing machine. I've said like so many times in this video. So I took that to my sewing machine and I joined my shoulder lines together. I did this for both sides. Then I gave it a really good press when I was done sewing so that it will relax well, it won't be puffing. So this is what we have here. I've already joined the shoulder line. Already joined the shoulder line. So I'm going to go ahead to join the sides. I've already marked out my measurement. Because it's an elastic, a polyester fabric, you're going to go down. Like if your bust is maybe 8.5 inches, you can mark 8 inches because it's still going to stretch. Understand? So that's what I did, and I joined both sides. You want to really take your time. You adjust the fabric as you go, especially if you are working with like a polyester, a lycra fabric, not polyester, lycra. So this is what it looks like. This is what we have here. You guys can see how it's coming together already. It's this simple to sew a jumpsuit. Just take your time to prepare the trouser and the blouse. So this is what we have here. So for the sleeve, you guys know this is like a down sleeve, more like an off, a little like 2 inches off, and because we've joined the bust, it has affected like the armhole curve, the measurement of the armhole, and we need about 7.5 inches so that you can easily push your hand through the blouse. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark 1 inch, because I actually marked 2 inches if you remember. So 1 inch was actually to shape out the armhole. So I'm just going to go ahead and shape it like so. So I basically needed about 7.5 inches. So that was what I was trying to do here. So I just used my pencil and kept going in till I got something like this. So this is what it looks like. You can shape it however you want, but this is how I did mine, and I went ahead to cut it. So after cutting the armhole, I'm going to go ahead to turn over the armhole. If you want to sew like a dress with a sleeve, you have to like do that when you're cutting. You can just skip this part and, you know, shape out your normal armhole the way you shape it. So this is like a 1.5 inch strap. So I'm going to use it to turn over the armhole. So I've turned over the armhole here. I pinned it because I'm going to like do hemming stitches. This is a stretch fabric, I can't sew through for the armhole. So this is the back, this is the blouse, and this is the trouser. I'm going to go ahead to align the blouse, the center of the blouse to the center front of the trouser. I'm going to secure it with some office pins round. So when you are securing when you are pinning the trouser to the blouse, you want to make sure that the dart for both the trouser and the blouse, everything is well aligned, and also the seam, the seam where the seam meet, where the seam stops. What am I even saying? Just make sure your seam allowance point for both the trouser and the blouse, make sure they all match, okay, so that everything appears neat and smooth. So I'm just going to go ahead and join the trouser. Guys, the jumpsuit is coming together already. Like, I didn't know it was so easy to sew a jumpsuit till I started sewing a jumpsuit. It's very easy, it's not so technical. So I just went ahead to join the trouser, and around my around my zip point, instead of, I'm going to go in about half an inch so that the zip point at the back would not puff out, you understand? So around the zip point where the zip and that's where the blouse and the trouser match together, going in about half an inch. So this is what we have here. So this is what we have here. I know it's looking funny. I'm just going to go ahead to attach my zip. I don't know, this thing was too exposed here, but this is the zip, and I'm going to join the zip to both sides of the blouse. So one thing you want to note when you're sewing your zip, when you get to that point where the blouse and the trouser match, you know, when you are joining like the trouser and the blouse together, you took in about half an inch when you got to around the zip point. So also when you're sewing your zip like this, if you get to that center point that's like the middle between the zip and the trouser, you want to go in, like just go a little off the zip track, then go back in. It has a way of taking care of the puff. So this is what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. It's so simple, it's so easy. I couldn't do video because it was late at night. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Hope you love the tutorial. Do come back for more. Please subscribe, it means a lot to me. Try it out, let me know how it went, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.